Let us continue with our story. I hope up to now what is taught is clear to you. So let us move to the next paragraph. The story goes on. One day, when I was in the 5th standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. He tells the story, his own experience. A new teacher came to our class when I was studying in 5th standard at Rameshwaram Elementary School. I used to wear a cap which marked me as a Muslim. You might have seen that Muslim boys would wear a cap, a white cap. Many of them would wear, not all of them. Okay, now that by which they can be identified that they belong to that community or caste. Okay, and I always sat in the front row. 5th standard, children, innocent children, they don't distinguish between Hindus, Muslims or Christians, no difference between the any kind of religion at all. So I used to sit in the front row next to Ramananda Shastri. Yes, I was sitting in the front row itself with the Ramananda Shastri, who wore a sacred thread that Brahmins would wear, you know it. Okay, now? Yes, they would wear a thread which marked that they belong to Brahmin caste. The new teacher could not stomach, he could not digest, he could not tolerate. To stomach means tolerate. See how a Muslim boy can sit with a Brahmin? So he was intolerant, that's what. He was intolerant. So he could not understand or digest or tolerate. What? What is that? Stomach, a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. So he could not tolerate a Muslim sitting with a Brahmin. Okay. In accordance with our social ranking, as a new teacher saw it. Now it is right, but the new teacher saw that I belonged to backward caste and Brahmins belonged to upward caste, something like that. He saw in such a way. I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. So the teacher asked me to move and go back to the back bench because I belonged to backward caste. I felt very sad. A 5th class boy, what he knows about this racial segregation or religious segregation or anything. He has no idea. See, innocent minds of small children. Okay, now? Yes. So I felt very sad. And so did Ramananda Shastri. He had no problem. In fact, no child ever felt anything like that. The teacher saw that it is not right for a Muslim boy to sit with a Brahmin boy. So he saw in such a way. He had some narrow-mindedness, that is why. So did Ramananda Shastri. So he also felt very sad that I am asked to move to the back bench. He looked utterly downcast, disappointed. He seemed more disappointed than me. As I shifted to my seat in the last row, generally small children and studying students would always like to sit on the front row itself. So he was very hardworking and studying also our Abdul Kalam. That is the reason why, that might be the reason why he came and sat in the front row. He may not be that much big also, tall also. He may not be. Okay, now, when he was in 5th standard, okay, so he was asked to move to the last bench. He felt very sad, very sorry that he is not able to, he is not allowed to, he is not qualified enough. That's what. It pained him that he is not qualified enough to sit with a Brahmin boy. It pained him a lot. He was so sad, disappointed. Okay, the image of him weeping, I could still remember. See, Ramananda Shastri weeping, he was crying. When I shifted to the last row, left a lasting impression on me. It left a lasting impression on me. I felt very sad that he was crying. He was crying because I was asked to move to the last bench. But his face I can never forget in my life. He was so sorry that I was asked to move to the last bench. After school, We went home and told our respective parents, I to my parents and he to his parents, about the incident. Children would say whatever happened in the school at home. Lakshmana Shastri summoned the teacher, and in our presence, in the presence of children, told the teacher that he should not spread, you have to mark that line, he should not spread the poison of social inequality. Underline that. He should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance. Yes, a teacher shall never do spreading poison of what? Social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. You know, children are innocent. So, grown-up people, they only have this idea of inequality, injustice and all. Children never think in such a way. So, he was asked very strongly that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. He bluntly asked the teacher, he plainly, openly asked the teacher to either apologize, you have to say sorry to the children, or quit the school, leave the school, you are removed, leave the school, and the island, leave the place also. Not only the school, but also the entire, he should not be seen anywhere in that area. And leave the school as well as place. We don't want you to be here in this area. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, yes, now the teacher felt sorry that he told that Muslim boy to go back to backbench. It was wrong in his part. He understood and he said sorry. Regret his behavior, but a strong sense of conviction, determination. Lakshmana Shastri conveyed, ultimately reformed this young teacher. At the end, the young teacher was reformed. A change came into his mind and he was reformed. He understood his mistake and he corrected himself. He was asked not to spread what? The poison of social inequality and injustice among innocent children. He regretted and it reformed him also. The story goes on. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of segregation of different social groups. So rigid, you see, very strict segregation of different social groups. See, it was a orthodox people living there and they don't deviate from what they have been practicing for long years. So very rigid, strictly following rituals, religious customs and social activities all. It was a rigid community ours. However, my science teacher, Shiva Subramania Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin, though he was an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, but his wife was very conservative, was something of a rebel, rebelling, opposing the system. This rebellion. Okay, now he was against the social custom of rigid social segregation, separation. One group will not mix with other group. One community or one religion, that people won't go to other people's house. That segregation, separation, compartmentalization was there in that society as a whole. And Shiva Subramania Iyer and his wife, they were quite orthodox, but Iyer was quite different. Not his wife. He did his best. See, he was a rebel and he did his level best to break social barriers. He really wanted to break all the social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily. So he wanted to break all kinds of social barriers and he wanted to see that people are mixing and mingling and interacting each other. Irrespective of their caste or religion. See, once again, he did his best to break the social barriers so that People from varying backgrounds could mingle easily, so that different groups of people, different religious people can mingle very easily. He used hours with me and would say, he used to spend many hours with me, and he used to say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with, equal with. You should be developing yourself. See, growing up so that you are equal with the highly educated people of the big cities. Yes, you must grow and develop and into a great personality so that you are as equal as highly educated people of big cities. So now you are staying in a small village with little education, people are not educated there. So you must be growing and moving away from this place, and you must be on par with, equal with, same as highly educated people of big cities. One day he invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy. She could not believe the man is bringing a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. Yes, ritually pure. So they maintain their family, entire family rooms and all pure. Maybe sprinkling some holy water, etc. So it is maintained ritually pure. So into that house, a Muslim boy is invited and he is coming. She couldn't believe. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. She refused to serve me food in her kitchen. Shivasubramania here was not perturbed, not disappointed, was he discouraged. Nor did he get angry with his wife. Neither did he get angry with his wife. But instead served me with his own hands. He came to the kitchen and served me food with his own hands, and sat down beside me to eat his meal. He sat with me to eat his meal. We ate together. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. She was watching from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice. I was wondering whether there was any difference in the way I ate the food, the rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. I was doing everything as a Brahmin boy used to do, including cleaning the floor. When I was leaving the house, our ayah invited me to join him for dinner again in the next weekend. He once again invited me. You can come once again at the next weekend. On the next weekend, you come once again. Observing my hesitation, I was hesitating. Now itself, this is experience. His wife not serving food or talking to me or allowing me to enter that pure kitchen, etc. How can I come a second time? First experience is enough. So he was feeling some hesitation to go there a second time. Observing my hesitation, he told not to get upset. He told me, don't get upset. Once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted, met with. You have to meet with such kind of problems. You see, when you decide to change the system, our society is conventional, orthodox, change would take so many years. Sudden change is not possible. So once you decide to change the system, such kind of difficulties, obstacles, you are to meet with. You see, where is that? Yes. Okay. How to be confronted, to be met with. When I visited his house next week, I went there anyhow. Once again, next week. She was Subramania Iyer's wife, took me inside her kitchen. It was she. So there is a reformation. There was a reformation in the mind of his wife also. She took me inside her kitchen. And served me food with her own hands. Surprisingly enough, it was she who took me inside the kitchen and she served food with her own hands to me, I remember. Last paragraph. Then the Second World War was over. and India's freedom was imminent. Yes, certain. So we are sure that we are going to get freedom. Okay, Indians will build their own India, declared our Mahatma Gandhi, Rashtrapita Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, Indians will build their own India. See, some unpleasant truths are there about, the freedom of India. In a book, Freedom at Midnight by Larry Collins and Dominic Lapierre. If ever you get a chance, you read that book, Freedom at Midnight by Larry Collins and Dominic Lapierre. Though we proclaim that we fought and won independence, etc., there are some unpleasant truths behind the freedom that we got on a midnight. Okay, that's not our subject, as we are not discussing that. Okay, now remember the book Freedom at Midnight by Larry Collins and Dominic Lapierre. Okay, so in Gandhi declared, Indians will build their own India. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism, unexpected optimism, not pessimism. Expecting good thing to happen is optimism. Opposite is a pessimism. Yes, we must always be optimistic. In your answers also, when you write a letter, essay or something, whatever, creative writing you write, your writing should be optimistic. Never be negative in your answering. Okay, now, so there was great optimism among everyone in India. Yes, unprecedented. Okay, now, optimism was there everywhere. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameswaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanandapuram. So I told my father that I must leave the village and go to Ramanandapuram, the district headquarters. I asked permission. He told me as if thinking aloud. He told me as if his thoughts are being spoken aloud. Abdul Kalam, I know you have to go away to grow. For your development, for your growth, for a good future, you have to go away from this village, from this family, from every one of us. I know you have to go away. Does the seagull not fly across the sun? A seagull, a bird that will cross the sea by flying, over the sea. The seagull, when it is trying to cross the sea, it will be flying with that infinite sea in front, with no destination being seen. It is flying and flying. Is it not so? Yes, with great determination. Does a seagull not fly across the sun, alone and without a nest? No nest is to be seen. You see, nothing can be seen everywhere. Water everywhere. Is it not so? But not a drop to drink. A famous line from a poem, Alfred Tennyson. You see, Ancient Mariner. Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. That's the condition in a sea. For seagull also, it cannot drink a drop of water also, no? Anyhow, the seagull has to fly away alone and without a nest. See, like a seagull, you have to fly away in your life. Yes, he quoted Khalil Gibran, to my hesitant mother. My mother was hesitating to permit me to go away from home. Your children are not your children. It is very meaningful. These words are. Your children are not your children. What is the meaning of that? They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Life has a longing to fulfill itself. To fulfill itself. Yes. They come through, but not from you. Even if they come through you, from their mother, not from you, you may give them your love, but not your thoughts. I repeat, you may give them your love, but not your thoughts. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. For they have their own thoughts. Wonderful advice now. Yes. First, he told Abdul Kalam. What he told? Yes, I know you have to go away to grow. For your perfection. To make your life complete. To develop yourself. See, everyone has his own abilities and all. And he must find perfection of life. For that, I know you have to go away from your native place, leaving your parents and your village and go to a faraway place to grow, to develop. For that you have to travel alone. You have to travel alone. In life you have to travel alone. We are all like that. Though there are many people around you, actually you are alone. You have to make your travel, your journey. The journey of life you have to make yourself alone. Nobody will help you. Like a seagull, like a bird. A seagull is like something like our crow. Something like that, not exactly. You see, that bird which flies crossing the sea, seeing nobody around, under the hot sun, with no nest or even a branch of a tree found anywhere nearby, but travel the journey of life. In that you are alone, alone and alone. Don't look this side or that side. Don't expect any help from any others. But you have to travel and make your life and find the perfection of your life. If you have to go away, you have to do that. To his son, he told such an advice. But to his hesitant mother, yes, his wife, he told that though you have given birth to your son, you cannot impose your ideas into his mind, into his head. Yes, he has a personality of his own, individuality of his own. He is an individual. Though he came out from you, he has an individuality, personality of his own, and you cannot impose your ideas into him. See that last line once again. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Life has a longing, deep desire for perfection. Is it not so? For that, to go away, if you have to do that. Yes, they come through you, but not from you. See, their individuality is separate, special from you, not yours. They have their own individuality and personality. You may give them your love. You can give them your love. You can love them. It's okay. But not your thoughts. You cannot put your thoughts into their head. You cannot impose your ideas into their head or their mind. Nowadays, very often, children always ask their parents what to take in next subject, what to choose after Andhra's examination, which subject to take, whether I should go for MPC, BPC or something else. They don't decide for themselves very often. No. Not like that. Though your parents may assist you, help you in many ways, you have to make the ultimate decision because it is your life. For perfection of your life, what is suitable for you, you have to find out. You can get help in many ways, many chances they may tell you, but the ultimate decision must be from you. And each and every student should be independent in their thoughts and in their, taking decisions. See, once again, see that? You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts, their own ideas, their own individuality and personality. So that was advice given to his mother, and advice given to him was to go away. There comes to an end of that lesson, that chapter, by APJ Abdul Kalam. I hope it is clear to you. If any doubt remaining, tell me, let me know it, I will clarify it. Thank you for watching. Thank you. For more updates, subscribe to the channel SGK English.